I am deep into skincare. A skincare junkie, if you will. And along my journey, I have gone through a few semi-obsessive phases where I've purchased a whole lot of it. And that's what leads us to today's video. You may remember that one of my goals for 2020 was to actually declutter a few spaces in my home. And that's exactly what I did. And then in 2021, I rolled over and wanted to make those spaces that I decluttered prettier or more aesthetically pleasing. So that is the mission I have been on. The first place that I tackled was actually my medicine cabinet, because that's where I house the majority of my skincare products that are in the current rotation. I will link both of those home goals videos for you up in the card so you can take a look at that. So while I did sort through and declutter a lot of the skincare products that I had on hand, which I'll show you footage of, I realized that I needed to make the medicine cabinet look a lot better. It was just ugly for the most part. And to give you a bit of background, we've been in my house for almost 11 years. The bathroom is the single untouched space in this house. We haven't done anything to the bathroom. That doesn't at all mean that the bathroom doesn't need to be renovated, but there's just a whole lot of moving parts and pieces involved in that whole equation, and it was not on the immediate horizon. Maybe it'll happen in 2021. I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, I decided, since I have to still live with this bathroom every single day of my life, I might as well make the space that appeals to me most look the best it can possibly look. And because I'm also letting go of perfection paralysis, which I mentioned in that 2020 home goals video, I decided to just make it look better so that I can be happy about it now. Why wait? There's no point in waiting until everything is absolutely perfect. Because like I said, this is a space that I have to interact with in my home every single day, multiple times a day. I might as well make it a place that I like. So I'll start with some before photos. And we have always intended to replace this medicine cabinet because the bathroom is not very large, but the medicine cabinet is huge. So while I always wanted to switch it out for something a little more streamlined, something that fit the space better, this really big medicine cabinet actually does meet the needs of my family in a really good way. So now I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know if I want to get rid of it, but we'll see. Time will tell. In the meantime, what I decided to do was clean it up really well. I decided to line the shelves and the back part of the medicine cabinet so that it looks a lot better when you open it up. This medicine cabinet has been through a lot, and so have these shelves that are inside of it. So after a really thorough and good cleaning, it looks a whole lot better, and I spruced it up by lining it the back with a marble contact paper. And of course, anything I mentioned in today's video, I will have linked down below. Some of them may be Amazon affiliate links, while others might not be, but you'll be able to tell the difference between them all. So after sprucing it up, it looks so much better already. So here you can see the after I've put the liner on the back of the cabinet and also lined the shelves and cleaned it up a bit, or at least as much as I could. I've also added these inserts, these clear acrylic inserts that I got from Amazon. I added those in and stacked in all of my skincare that I like to keep on hand. Yes, it's a lot. I think I said that before. I know it's a lot. I do like to keep duplicates of my favorite items like that serum, that Rewind serum. And here I'm pointing out that I do keep additional types of moisturizers on hand depending on the season or how my skin is doing. The one at the bottom was a lighter moisturizer. The one up at the top is a heavier moisturizer. And I also keep some treatments on hand as well as another alternative for sunscreen depending on what I'm doing outside, you know, if I'm not going to be outside or not. And also I'll keep some cotton pads on hand. In that upper left little cup is a few skincare tools. In the middle section, you can obviously see where the Listerine goes because it's spilled and we need a refill. But you'll see some of my moisturizers over on the left, the kids' toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, additional skincare items up at the top. And like I mentioned, I like to keep the duplicates or the backups on hand as well to make sure that I never, ever, ever run out, because that is the worst. And then the right hand side of the cabinet has your basic medicine cabinet essentials like bandages, pain relief, things of that nature, some hair brushes, all those things that you might typically keep in a medicine cabinet anyway. Alcohol, peroxide, all of that good stuff. And the next step I needed to do was to toss some of the things that I didn't need any longer. And by toss, I really mean give to my other friends who are super into skincare if the things aren't expired, or donate them to maybe homeless shelters in the area. But yeah, to make sure anything that is still good gets put to use, and anything else that has expired, toss it in the garbage or recycling. Because like I said, I'm kind of like really into skincare, so I tend to spend a lot of money on skincare. So I don't want to just throw that money down the drain. I want to make sure somebody can actually get use out of the products. Now, once all of that was cleared out, I actually needed to take stock of the things that I wanted to keep in here. I think the problem I was running into is that I was trying to shove everything into this cabinet, and that's not really very efficient. If there are certain items that I need for my morning skincare routine and for my evening skincare routine, those things will definitely live in the cabinet. However, if there are certain masks or other potions that I only use maybe once a month or even less, those things don't need to live in my medicine cabinet. So like I said, to decide what I want to keep in the medicine cabinet, I'll break it down between morning routine and evening routine. So let's start with the morning. My morning routine is pretty simple and flexes a bit with the seasons, but pretty much for the most part, I keep the same types of products in the rotation. I just might switch out a lighter moisturizer if we're in the spring and summer months, and rotate that out with a heavier moisturizer in the colder months if I need it. But the routine stays generally the same. Here's where my morning skincare routine begins. Like any other, splashing a bit of water on my face. Then I'll start off with my cleanser of choice, which is Cream. And I will show you closer up of what the consistency of the product looks like later on in the video. I'm still getting the hang of it. So I'll lather that up and make sure that I really cleanse my skin well for an extended amount of time. I think most people probably don't cleanse as long as they should, but I like to make sure I get in there and clean off any of the sebum and oil and debris that's left on my skin as much as possible, and that definitely helps to keep your skin clean and clear. Next, I'll rinse that off, of course, and then I like to follow up with my lighter serums or toners, moisturizing toners that is. And this first one is by Klairs, and like I said, I'll have everything linked down below, and there will be closer views of these products in the coming scenes in the video. So I'll start by patting that into my face, and I also like to put any excess on the backs of my hands. And then the next serum I'll apply is the Rewind Serum by Stratia. I've been using this one for quite a few years actually, and I really do like it. It's hyaluronic acid based, and I normally add a drop of this Legiham Propolis serum to that as well, especially in the colder months when I need a little bit more of a boost of moisture. I'll mix those two together and pat them into my skin the same way I did with the first serum. And usually I'm in a robe or something, so I'm able to bring it down my neck into my chest area. So that's what you see me trying to do here. And then I'll follow that up with my moisturizer of choice, which is by Belief. And I'll show you more of that in a minute. I apply the moisturizer all over my face, to the backs of my hands as well. And then I go in with a medicated lip ointment by Blistex, as well as an eye cream. I don't typically use eye creams most of the time, but I do, especially in allergy season, because I find that the skin around my eyes gets really irritated. So I like to keep it very moisturized, and that helps to prevent that irritation. I really think most eye creams are all created equal, so I don't spend a lot of money on creams that I put around my eyes. I just like to make sure that they are made for that area and won't cause any irritation. Once all of that dries down and I kind of cleaned everything up, I will follow up with my sunscreen for the day. And the one I'm using currently is the Unseen Sunscreen by Supergoop. So I'll apply that everywhere, make sure to rub it in all over, I do truly feel that we all can benefit from making sure to protect our skin from the sun, even if we're just staying home, like we have been for most of 2020. But even if we are home, working from home indoors, it's definitely a good habit to create to make sure you are protecting your skin from the sun every single day. And once that is done, I'm good to go, and I'm done with my morning skincare routine. Now let's move on to the evening routine. The evening routine starts off much like the morning routine, except there's no SPF involved because I'm going to sleep. I won't be in the sun at all. But there may be different things I apply after my moisturizer, and I guess I should back up a little bit. So like I said, I will change out the moisturizer depending on the seasons, depending on what my skin might need. If it's a little irritated, if it's a little dry, if I'm feeling really oily, I vary which moisturizers I use, and I might layer some other toners, or what are they called? It's not the American kind of toners. It's more the European or Asian types of toners that are actually hydrating. I'll layer those underneath the moisturizer to add even more layers of moisture into my skin. So I do like to have a few types on hand in the medicine cabinet so that I can grab them when I need them. Here is where the evening skincare routine begins. I am tired and I look like it. So I begin by doing a double cleanse, and I'll explain it like this. If I'm wearing makeup or sunscreen, I like to use something that's going to break down those oils so that it's easier for my cleanser to remove it from my skin. So I normally use one of two things, either an oil cleanser that can be emulsified by water or micellar water. Tonight I'm going to use this Biossance Squalane oil cleanse. So I'll just take one pump of that and then rub it around and rub it into my skin to, like I said, help break up the sunscreen that I was wearing earlier in the day. Normally I would use an oil cleanser in the colder months and use the micellar water in the warmer months because my skin doesn't like a lot of oils on it in the summer due to humidity and all that other stuff. So once that's thoroughly applied and I feel like it did a good job of breaking down any of that sunscreen or makeup that I might have been wearing, I'll go in and splash some water on and move it around to emulsify the oil cleanser. This is the kind that I prefer to use over a straight up oil because I do find for my skin, rinsing with water really doesn't remove the oil from my skin well enough, and it causes breakouts and problems down the line. Then I go in with the second cleanse, which is my trusty Vanicream foaming cleanser. Lather that up and rinse it off. Pretty much self-explanatory, and my routine looks a lot like the morning routine. I'll go in with my moisturizing toners. The first one up is the Klairs toner, and here you can see it's a watery consistency but a slightly thicker viscosity than just plain water. Kind of hard to describe, but I'll apply that and then go in with a squirt or two, normally just one squirt, but a squirt or two of the Rewind serum. Tonight I'm not going to use the other serum that I used in the morning, the Leegehem Propolis serum. I didn't use it because I'm using this facial oil to go around my eyes to help moisturize that area a little bit better. And of course that'll move around my face. So I felt like I didn't need another serum underneath that. And as a standard, I'll apply Blistex lip ointment. And what I forgot to show in this is that I normally do follow up the Blistex lip ointment with a lip mask or a heavier lip treatment before bed. I normally use the Laneige night sleeping mask or lip sleeping mask, I think it's called. I'll have it linked below. And here you can see a closer view of the moisturizer that I prefer to use. It's the Belif Creamy Moisturizer Deep Moist. Weird name, but it works. I really like it because it works well for me all year round. Doesn't matter the weather. Once all of that is fully applied and I give it some time to soak in, I then go in, usually I would say maybe 4 to 5 nights a week, with a prescribed face cream. It's tretinoin, which is a retinoid, which is said to help prevent skin aging. That's what I'm using it for. It also is good for people who may be acne prone as well. You can get it from your dermatologist if skin aging or acne issues are a concern for you. And I did squeeze out a little bit too much, so I'm going to put some on the backs of my hands and use that to treat that area as well, because our skin on our hands age probably quicker than the skin on our faces, in my opinion. So use the leftover and rub it into the backs of my hands after I make sure that I have applied it all over my face. And you can see I'm dotting a bit under my eyes because that area is also sensitive to premature aging. So I want to make sure I treat every single spot of my skin, because why not? I will usually give myself facials once, maybe twice a week, or some type of treatment which involves a chemical exfoliant of some type. Those treatments that I showed you in my medicine cabinet, I'll do that 1 to 2 times a week normally when I'm feeling like it. I could do a follow-up video on the things that I like to do for those moments, so if you're interested in that, leave me a comment down below. But once all of that is done for my regular evening skincare, I am done. Seriously, if you love organizing, this probably feels like a breath of fresh air. I know it absolutely does to me. It looks so organized, so inviting almost, you know, like it's inviting me to use everything that's in here. It's not a space that I want to avoid or hide away from. It feels so good to have the space decluttered and refreshed. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, I'll be sure to add this video to my organization playlist. So definitely check that out if you want more videos along this same line. I'll have that linked down in the description and also up in the cards. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.